Good show, Billy Joe.
Well, yeah, well, thanks.
Well, you were good, too. I just don't want it to go to your head. I liked your song tonight.
Thank you.
That ought to light a few flames in the hearts of the women of America.
Lacey, Ricky. Lacey, do you think you could stay late tonight?
Well, sure. I've stayed late every night this week. Any special reason?
I need you to do a favor for me.
What's that?
Well, there's been a little shake-up here on the show, and I need you to keep Billy Joe here at the studio for another couple of hours.
Well, what's the reason?
I can't tell you right now, but whatever you tell Billy Joe to keep him here, make sure that Phil Roberts doesn't hear you.
Hey, Roy. Billy Joe still at KBIK?
I reckon.
Well, tell him I'm in the office when he gets here, okay?
Right. Oh, Ruby, look, somebody was trying to reach you earlier this afternoon.
Oh, yeah? Who?
Some guy wouldn't leave his name. It was long distance. From Nashville.
From where?
Nashville.
What's wrong?
Well, I'm just thinking that it might end up like that. If anything goes wrong today.
Hello, Mrs. Connor.
I've been waiting a long time to be called Mrs. Connor.
Are you sure you don't want to be called Hampton Marshall Connor in the more modern tradition?
No, just an old-fashioned girl. Mrs. Connor will be just fine.
Oh, Father Bascom. I want to thank you again for performing the ceremony. It's beautiful.
It sure was. Thank you so much. It was lovely.
It was my pleasure, I assure you.
Well, TJ. Father Bascom, I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, TJ Canfield.
We just met a few minutes ago. You're an associate of Stryker's, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
It's a shame that Stryker had to leave so early.
Oh, don't worry about him. He made me promise him that I'd save him some of that wedding cake.
Well, if Steve would just come down from the house, then we could cut the cake.
Hey.
I'd like you to come live with me.
I don't think my mom would like that.
I know she won't mind. It's what she wants.
How do you know that?
Here. Read this letter that she wrote to me last week. I'm sorry. But you have to know, son.
It's not true.
I wish it weren't true, Steve. Believe me, I do. You know your mother's handwriting. That's her signature. Ryan and I are planning children of our own, and there just won't be room enough in our lives for Steve. He'll be much better off with you, Barrett.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Wonder what kind of shake-up Ben was talking about.
I don't know, but I'm gonna head on over to the coop before the bomb goes off.
I thought you were singing at the Top of the World Club tonight.
Yeah, I am, but I've got a little business to take care of with Ruby first.
How are your flying lessons going?
Oh, they're going great. Hey, that Sammy's a terrific coach. Thanks, I owe you one for that introduction.
How many hours have you logged?
I got about 20. In fact, next week or in a couple of weeks, I hope to have my pilot's license. And I'm still waiting for that trip to New Orleans.
What trip to New Orleans?
I figured you'd forgotten.
Oh, the dinner.
Yes, the dinner. You were going to fly me down there in your father's plane, remember?
Yeah.
Of course, if you're backing off, that's
Well, I'm not backing off. It's just a little difficult to go to New Orleans for dinner when I'm working here 12 hours a day.
Yeah, that's what you wanted, isn't it?
I must say, I learn something new every day. You have to be really dedicated in this business.
Well, maybe you could become a performer.
What makes you say that?
Well, I do an hour show 3 times a night. I rehearse maybe 20 hours a week. It's a very different lifestyle.
I'll keep that in mind. Speaking of performers, how's your sister Elena doing?
Well, she's all right.
Read in the paper that she was mixed up with that Joe Foster guy that kidnapped her. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm afraid it is.
I only saw her a couple of times at the coop, but she seems so quiet. It's just hard to believe that she'd be mixed up with a guy like that.
I know.
It's really sort of wild.
Yeah, I'll say it's wild.
Hi.
Sleep well?
Yeah. What time is it?
I'm not sure. It must be close to 5.
Last thing I remember was about lunchtime. Been here the whole time?
No, not totally. I went and took a little walk in the hospital gardens.
Offer to go with you next time, but I think the guards would like me going past the doors.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you in pain? I could call the nurse.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay, really.
Hey, Dr. Douglas says you're doing great.
Yeah, I guess I'm doing okay for a guy who's got a hole in his chest. Guess I'd be lucky that Arnell didn't hit anything important.
I talked to a couple of lawyers today
What lawyers?
about handling your case. You gotta have one, Joe.
I mean, I can't afford no lawyer.
I've already taken care of that.
What do you mean you're taking care of that?
I'm gonna use the money that we were gonna use to get out of the country with.
Oh, Elaine, you can't do that.
I already have.
$10,000 you said you borrowed from your aunt.
I know. I'll pay her back. I've already discussed it with Aunt Maggie.
I don't want you discussing things with your Aunt Maggie. I don't want you spending your money on me. It's my problem, and I gotta solve it by myself.
Joe, it's too late. I've already made up my mind.
Well, what you gonna live on? You don't even have a job.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the coop tonight and get my old singing job back.
Oh, look, you already talked to Billy Joe once. What makes you think it's gonna be different this time?
Because I'm not gonna talk to Billy Joe. This time, I'm gonna talk to Ruby.
Well, are you sure this guy who was trying to call me didn't leave his name?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, did it sound like he knew me?
Yeah, it did.
Well, are you sure he didn't say where he could be reached?
Ruby, look, I'm sure.
Well, how long ago did he call?
About 3-4 hours ago.
Well, did you ask him where he could be reached?
Yeah, I did, but he wouldn't say.
I love you.
I know how much it hurts, son. But it's something you'll just have to accept.
I know my mom loves me.
Yeah, but not as much as she loves Ryan. Or the children that she and Ryan are going to have.
I was Ryan's best man.
You were.
Yep.
He probably asked you to make you feel important.
He did. I was his third choice.
His third choice?
After Max and Grant Wheeler.
I'm afraid that's the way it'll always be for you with Ryan and your mother. You'll always be third choice.
Why didn't Mom tell me herself?
She was too busy with wedding plans, plans for the honeymoon.
They invited me out for a week in Acapulco.
But you said that you couldn't miss your basketball, right?
How'd you know that?
I know how important the basketball season is to you. So does your mother. She knew that you wouldn't leave Houston.
I don't want to leave the ranch.
But you have to leave anyway. Now, either you live in town, or you go with me. If you go with me, I'll find a job on a ranch out west. We can have your horses and Morning Glory shipped out to stay with us.
Can we?
Once we get settled. I'm offering you an opportunity to be happy, son. But it's up to you. It's your decision.
Roy, where's Ruby? Well, well. I'm surprised you got the nerve to show your face around here again. Actually, I'm surprised you got the nerve to show your face anywhere in Houston again.
I came here to talk to you, Ruby.
Like the little talk you had with Billy Joe the other day?
What are you talking about?
I guess Billy Joe told you exactly what he thought of your cheap little affair with Joe Foster.
Hey, Ruby, I could have told Billy Joe a couple of things myself, but I didn't.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nobody knows about your little involvement in this whole thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You told me yourself. You told Pete Parnell where Joe was hiding.
So what if I did?
Well, that kind of makes you involved, don't you think?
No, I don't think.
Well, I don't think Billy Joe is going to be too happy when he finds out you knew where Joe Foster was hiding all the time. Come to think of it, I think the police are going to feel the same way.
Well, there's your man now. What are you going to say to him to stall him until Phil Roberts leaves?
Well, I'll just say that Ben wants to talk to him. That's all.
Yeah, and what if Ben is talking to Phil when Billy Joe goes up to him and asks him what he wants?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. What should I do?
I don't know. Looks to me like you've got what is known as a problem. I'll see you.
Wait, you can't leave me now.
Yeah, I can. Good luck.
Well, it's quitting time.
Well, good show, Billy Joe.
Well, yeah, you told me that before, so thanks again, and I'll see you the day after tomorrow.
Oh, wait!
What?
Hey, Pete. I just gave Ben the list of names you need to call to get Lady Bird Johnson on the show. Surprised to see you still here.
Well, I was just leaving.
Excuse me. How was your visit with Justin earlier today?
Fine.
I don't think it was. But if you don't want to talk about it.
No, I don't.
Honey, are you all right?
I will be just as soon as TJ stops following me around.
He's just trying to be pleasant, sweetheart.
No, he's not, Mama. He wants to find out what I told Justin this afternoon.
Rena.
Mama, you're the one who told him I had gone and seen Justin.
That's true, I did.
I wish you'd stop talking to him and have him leave me alone, please.
What did you say to Justin?
Mama, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, what was the big surprise you had?
I want to have a good time, okay?
All right. We'll talk about this later.
I can't understand why Stephen hasn't come down from the house yet.
Oh, I don't think he was very comfortable in his suit, honey. He's probably changing his clothes.
No, but it's been an awfully long time.
Okay, Mama, I'll go and get him.
Thanks, Rena.
Hello, beautiful. Hey, Vicky, did you see this fantastic lavalier the striker gave Jenny?
Yes, he showed it to me last night. It's beautiful.
Isn't it pretty? I know.
I'm quite impressed with T.J. Canfield. He seems to have matured quite a bit since I used to know him. I see he's still quite a ladies' man, too.
Oh, yes, that's for sure.
He seems to be quite taken with Rena.
I don't think Rena's quite taken with him. She can't stand it.
Oh, well, that will change if he stays around long enough. I think he's charming. Where is Rena?
Oh, she went up to the house to get Steve.
Stephen Marshall? It's Rena Decker. Stephen?
Oh, no, Stephen.
There's no way you can prove I know anything about Joe Foster.
I'm going to have to testify at Pete Parnell's trial.
Well, that's got nothing to do with me.
When I tell them what I know, and I mention your connection, they're going to put you on the witness stand.
Do you think anybody's going to believe you?
Why wouldn't they?
After all the lies you told to everybody you know when you were trying to protect Joe, nobody's ever going to believe you again.
Well, if they don't believe me, maybe they'll believe Mr. Parnell or Mr. Lawrence.
What do you expect to gain from this, Elena?
Well, Ruby, I really don't want to do it.
Elena, what do you want?
I want us to make a deal.
We had a deal, remember? You were supposed to sing here at the Coop, and I was not going to tell anybody about Joe, and I kept my part of the bargain.
And so did I. I sang here.
You were getting ready to run out on me.
You forced me into that, Ruby.
So now you're going to force me into something else, is that it?
Oh, I don't want to think of it as forcing you into anything. I really think I'm doing you a favor.
Really? And exactly what am I supposed to do for you in return?
I want you to talk Billy Joe into hiring me back at the Coop.
That's impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
There's no way Billy Joe is ever going to let you sing here again.
Well, you're smart, Ruby. I think you'll find a way.
I can't. Billy Joe is sure that Joe Foster is responsible for Nita's divorcing him. He'll never forgive you for hiding Joe.
If you talk to him, I think he will.
Are you going to the Coop, Billy Joe?
Yeah?
Well, if you don't mind hanging around here until I'm finished, I'd appreciate a ride over there.
Yeah, but didn't I see your little sports car parked out front today?
Yes, but I'm having a little trouble with it.
There's a garage down the street that I use, Lacey. It's good. I'll drive you down there.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Roberts. I don't want to put you out, though.
You wouldn't be putting me out at all. Come on, let's go.
But my car is a foreign car, and there are not too many places that have the right
Well, you're
parts.
in luck. This place specializes in foreign cars, and they're the best in Houston.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. I appreciate your concern, but there's a garage that I've been using ever since I came to Houston.
And you don't want to leave your car to any other garage, huh?
Well, I've had this trouble before, and they know just what to do about it.
You sure? Because it's no trouble at all.
Oh, I'm sure. I'll get it taken care of first thing in the morning.
Well, you get an early start. I don't want you late for work. We've got a long day ahead of us tomorrow.
I won't be late.
Good night.
What's this all about?
Well, Ben wanted me to keep you here late tonight so he could talk to you. And didn't want Mr. Roberts to know.
Talk about what?
Lacey, do you know where Phil Roberts is?
He just left.
Good.
Hey, what's going on here? Am I fixing to be fired or what?
Oh, no. As a matter of fact, we're fixing to give you a promotion.
Now, I'm so sorry Stryker had to leave so early for Washington.
Oh, I am too.
And Grant. It's too bad he couldn't be here today, huh?
Where's Grant?
Well, they had a board meeting in Boston he just couldn't get out of.
It's a shame that so many people were busy today and couldn't be here.
Oh, I know. Oh, Ryan, I'm so glad you've decided to accept Stryker's offer of a partnership in his firm.
Oh, thanks. I'm real happy I'm going to be practicing law again.
Who's going to run World Oil?
I'm not sure, but Justin's not going to give up trying.
Well, Ashley told me that Iris fired him.
Well, he was fired as president, but not as head of the production division. As far as I know, he's going to have that job, and he still has it as of right now.
Will you excuse me for a minute?
Where are you going?
I'm just going to talk to Lillian. There are a few things I want to ask her to do for me when we're on our honeymoon.
Okay.
Okay. See you later.
You're no more of that now, you know.
Well. How's the bridegroom doing?
Oh, I've never been happier in my life.
Did you find Steve, honey?
Mama, would you excuse us for a minute, please? Sure. Stephen's gone.
What do you mean gone?
Yes, he's gone.
Gone where?
He went off with Barrett.
What do you mean he went off with Barrett?
He left a letter for Ginny. Come on upstairs.
I can't read this stuff.
Sure you can.
But I've never read a commercial before in my life.
Well, it's simple. You just say the words like you believe them.
Well, how am I supposed to believe the words when I don't even know what they're talking about here?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't even know the first thing about tractors. That's what this whole thing's about.
Well, look, Billy Joe, you've seen Phil do the commercials, haven't you?
Well, yeah.
Well, all you got to do is read them the same way.
Well, wait a minute. I thought you told me that the guys from Texas Tractors didn't like the way Phil was reading the commercials.
Well, that's not exactly what I said.
Well, I thought the whole idea was that they're going to dump Phil.
No, nobody's talking about dumping Phil, Billy Joe. It's just that they don't want him doing their commercials anymore.
I don't get it.
Well, it's not even that they don't like the way he does the commercials. It's just that they think that you have more of the image that they want to project.
Oh. Well, what kind of image have I got?
Well, you're wholesome and sincere and young.
Look, I don't want to leave you in the lurch or anything, Ben. I think you're an all right guy, and I like you a lot.
But
I think you got the wrong person for this kind of job.
Why?
Because I'm just no good at reading commercials. Every time I try to do it, I feel like a phony.
Well, everybody feels that way at first. It's natural. But you'll get over it. Look, all I'm asking is that you give it the old Billy Joe try.
Well, all right, I'll give it a try, but I think you're making a big mistake.
I think you'll be just fine, Billy Joe.
Who are those guys?
The client.
You mean the guys from Texas Tractors? They look like a couple of stiffs from a funeral parlor.
Billy Joe, why don't you just stay right here and I'll take care of them.
I am trying to understand what you're doing, but you gotta know that it's not easy.
Why? Why is it so difficult for you to understand that I love Joe Foster?
Because of the kind of man Joe Foster is.
You couldn't possibly know what kind of man Joe Foster is.
Well, I know what he's done to you.
No, you don't. That's just it, Ricky. He saved my life twice. He's kind and he's gentle. Joe Foster cares for me more than anyone I've ever known.
Now, come on, Elena. Max has cared. As a matter of fact, more than care for you, Max loved you. And I love you, and Maggie loves you. We're all just trying to understand what it is you've gotten yourself into.
I don't think any of you are ever going to understand because you really don't want to.
That's not true. We do want to.
Yeah, but you refuse to see the kind of person Joe Foster really is.
Maybe you're right, but...
I'm going to stand by Joe no matter what happens, Ricky. I want you to know that. And if it means that the rest of my family is going to abandon me, then that's just the way it's going to have to be.
Honey, that's not gonna happen.
Dear Mom, since it might be a while before we can send for them, please take care of my horses and Morning Glory. I love you, but I know I'll be better off with Dad. Love, Stephen. Where's the letter you found on the floor?
Here it is.
Let me see. Well, you know what happened, don't you?
Well, to me, it looks like a letter that Ginny wrote to Barry years ago.
The second page is a page of Ginny's signature.
I remember Barry told me once that he used to save all of Ginny's letters.
Barrett just rewrote the first page so Steve would believe that Ginny didn't really want him around. And that must be how he convinced Steve to go with him.
Look, Ryan, they couldn't have gone that far. Now, Daddy has a lot of friends on the highway patrol, like Cody Allen. I think we should call him and have him stop Steve and Barry. If Cody can arrange it, I could talk to Steve. I know I can make him understand what Barry has done to him. Maybe Ginny won't even have to know about any of
She's
this.
waiting for Steve right now, wondering what's happened to him. We're not going to be able to keep this from him for very long.
Well, at least we have to try.
I don't even know what kind of car Barrett's driving. I don't know what color it is. I don't know where he rented it from, what direction it's headed in.
Ryan, call the police. Have the police take care of all that information for us. They must have rented a car at the airport. For heaven's sake, he kidnapped Steve.
No, he didn't kidnap him, Marina. Steve went along of his own free will.
Barry tricked him.
I know that.
Oh, we're wasting time. Let's call the highway patrol.
When you're riding a Texas tractor, you're riding tall in the saddle. The Texas tractors, we're the farmer's friend. And remember, Texas tractors are made in the good old U.S. of A.
That was very good, Billy Joe. Why don't you and Lacey go wait over on the other side of the studio?
You were good, Billy Joe.
Are you kidding? That was awful.
That's not true.
A robot could have done a better job than I did. I tell you, once I got up there, I just didn't know what to do with my hands.
Your hands look just
Just
fine.
kept on hanging there like doing nothing. You know, I don't know. What would you do? Imagine being up there in front of those two old guys staring a hole right through you, and all you can do is just remember your hands are hanging there, not doing anything.
Your hands look very natural.
Look at the way they're staring at me. I mean, like if I don't get kicked off the show completely.
Well, that's not going to happen. The ratings have gone up since you and Ricky have been on the show.
They hated me. Tell me the truth.
Just the opposite. They loved you. They think you're just the person they've been looking for.
You're kidding.
They want to sign you to a separate contract for commercials for $50,000 a year.
$50,000 a year? Well,
Not enough?
no, that's fine. That's great. That's fantastic. Why are you looking that way?
Because I'm the one that's going to have to break the news to Phil.
So you sure this is what you really want, Elena?
Yes. I went back to the apartment today to get some of my things, and it just made me so sad. I can't live there anymore. At least not for a while.
Yeah, but where are you going to stay?
Well, I could stay on in the apartment above Bobby Sue's. It's cheaper, anyhow, and right now I'm a little hard up for money.
Oh, I can give you some money if you're a little light.
No, thanks. But Ruby has agreed to talk to Billy Joe about me going back to the coop to sing.
Well, that was very nice of Ruby to do that.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
You know, I know you two were not getting along too well there for a while. I'm glad things are better between you now.
Well, we've sort of come to an understanding.
Yeah, but I still feel bad about taking your apartment.
Why? Ricky, you're doing me a favor.
You sure you're not just saying that?
Yes, I'm sure. Now, look, that lease has Terry's name on it, and if you're not going to take it, I'm going to have to find somebody else to sublet it.
Well, I guess Terry'd rather have her brother living there than some stranger, huh?
Yes, I know she would. And anyway, I want to hold on to it because I'm sure Terry's going to want it when she comes back to Houston.
Well, I think our sister's having too good a time in Paris to come back, but I think you're right about holding on to the apartment.
Holding on to what apartment?
Oh, Elena was just offering to let me take over her apartment.
Well, that was real sweet of Elena. Where are you going to stay?
I'm going to stay on in the apartment above Bobby Sue's for a while.
Well, honey, if you don't get going, you're going to be late for your own show.
Oh, you're right. I forgot what time it was. I'll see you after the show, babe.
Okay.
You buck up, kid, okay?
Bye, Ricky.
Well, Lena, that was real nice of you to offer us your apartment.
Us?
That's right.
I offered that apartment to my brother, Ruby.
It's the same thing. Ricky and I are practically living together now out at the ranch. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I said to Ricky that it would be real good if we could find ourselves a place in town. Save us the long drive in.
You think you can get everything you want, don't you?
Just about.
You caused me and Joe a lot of trouble, Ruby. I'm not going to forget that.
Well, at the moment, you need me. If you ever want to sing here again.
That's true. But the day will come when I don't need you anymore. And then, Ruby, you better watch out.
Lurleen, I may be able to find a job for you at KVIK.
Jenny and Rena put you up to this, didn't they?
No.
I did.
You know, we're always looking for bright young people to train.
Oh, I appreciate it, but I really don't want to work in the city. I want to work in Marshall Village. I'll keep looking. Something will turn up sooner or later.
Well, if it doesn't or you change your mind, give me a call. I'll try to help.
Thanks, TJ.
Has anyone seen Rena and Ryan?
No.
Well, I saw them walking up to the house. I'll go find them if you want.
Oh, honey, thank you. I'd appreciate that. Having a good time?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Do you know why Rena went to visit Justin earlier today?
Yes, I do know.
Why?
I think it's better that Rena tell you that.
All right.
Oh, there you two are. Where's my son? If he doesn't get down here, we won't be able to cut the cake. What's the matter with you?
Honey, we have some bad news.
Stephen. Something happened to Stephen?
Stephen went off with Barry, Jenny.
What? What you talking about?
He left this note.
So you think Ruby's gonna be able to talk Billy Joe into hiring you again?
She'll have to.
I hope she can.
Well, anyway, Billy Joe's been so busy with the Phil Roberts show that Ruby's been making most of the decisions there anyhow.
Yeah, but a decision as important as hiring you again is gonna have to go through Billy Joe.
Yeah, I guess it will.
Doesn't end, does it?
What?
Trouble I caused you?
You caused me. Joe, if it wasn't for me, you'd be safe and sound in South America and not lying here wounded in a hospital with some police guard outside.
Mm-hmm. It's just one hitch.
And what's that?
If I was in South America, I wouldn't be able to spend the last 2 months with you.
Yeah, but you'd be free.
Lena, there's something you gotta know and believe. I wouldn't trade these last 2 months for anything.
I'm not going to let them send you to prison, Joe. I won't.
Might not have any choice.
Yes, I will. And I'm not going to let that happen.
So many things I wanted.
You'll have them.
No, not for me. For us.
Joe, we're going to have that little white hacienda one of these days. And that big family you wanted.
They might knock me up for a long time.
No, they won't. But if they do, I'll wait for you. I'd wait 50 years, I promise you.
Oh, 50 years is a lot longer than you think.
I don't care. I love you.
Oh, I love you, too. Now, I never thought it would be possible for me to tell that to another human being. But I can tell it to you because it's true.
Someday, somehow, we're gonna be together, Joe.
Oh, Elena, there's something I've always wanted to tell you. It's never really seemed to be the right time. Now, well, now ain't the right time either, but I gotta tell you.
The right time to say what?
Well, if everything had gone the way we planned it, we'd be in Mexico, gotten married, be husband and wife. That may never happen now.
Yes.
Let me finish. I can't ask you to wait for me.
Joe.
And we might be separated for a long time, and I don't want you to make any promises you can't keep.
Don't say that, Joe.
I'm just saying the truth. I know how it is when people are separated from each other for a long time.
I'll never love anybody but you.
Well, you never know what life's gonna throw in front of you. A lot of things can happen. Now, I can't give you a wedding ring. There's something I want you to have.
Joe.
I want you to have it. I can't ask you to be my wife. But I just want you to think of me when you wear it. That's all I ask.
I'll never stop thinking about you. Never.
Hey, Roy? I was out back in the kitchen with Wang. I heard the phone ring. I was wondering if it was that guy who called before, you know, the one from Nashville. Wouldn't need his name?
No, he hasn't called.
Okay, well, you let me know if he calls, won't you? There you are. I was about to send out a search party for you. What's been keeping you?
I'll tell you what's been keeping me, little sister. You are now looking at a certified commercial star.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the clients for the Phil Roberts show want me to do the commercials instead of Phil.
Well, how does Phil feel about that?
I don't know. He doesn't know about it yet, but I'm just glad I'm not going to be around when he does find out.
Well, I hope you didn't sign anything.
I did.
Well, if they're going to have you make the commercial, they said they'd give you more money, wouldn't they?
Of course.
Well, how much?
Well, Ben says I'm going to be clearing over $50,000. That means I'm going to be making a total of over $100,000 off the Phil Roberts show. Of course, 10% of that goes to my agent, Ruby Wright. Well, what'd you think?
I think that's terrific.
I'll tell you what I think. I think we ought to celebrate. Matter of fact, I got a special bottle of champagne in the fridge there for special occasions, and this is it. So you get a couple of champagne glasses over there. Right over here. I'll be back a little bit later on, all right?
Okay, can I have a couple of champagne glasses, please, Roy? The people on the Phil Roberts show just gave Billy Joe a great big raise.
Well, all right.
Bo. I wrote this letter to Barrett when I was sure I was pregnant with Steve. Do you remember what you wrote on that first page?
Probably told him about the ranch news. I always started my letters out that way.
Well, then he must have thrown out that first page and substituted his own page. It said that there was no room in your life for Steve.
Rena, why is Barrett doing this to me?
Because he's crazy, Ginny, because he wants to hurt you. Taking Steve is the only way he knows how to do that.
How could Steve believe this? How could he believe that I don't love him?
Darling, he doesn't know what or whom to believe anymore. Just think about it. Your divorce from Barry, Max's death, your marriage to Ryan, and then your decision to move away from the ranch and then back into town. That was just too much for a little guy to deal with.
I should have helped him more. I should have spent more time with him.
Jenny, honey, don't do this. Don't start thinking about all the things you should have done. You did everything you could.
I called Cody at the Highway Patrol. Now, they checked all the airlines, but he's not listed on any of the flights leaving Houston tonight or tomorrow.
Did they know what kind of car he was driving, what his license number was?
Not yet. They know that he didn't rent the car at the airport, so they're checking all the car rental agencies in town.
Is it possible that Barry could have taken Steve to Colorado?
I don't know, but I doubt it.
Why?
It'd be too easy for us to trace him. My guess is that he's taken him somewhere to start a new life. Honey, it's just a guess. Now, we have to be ready for anything.
He could change his name and just disappear.
Kate's calling the people who own the ranch where Barrett's been staying. They're going to call us if they hear from him.
And if they don't? He'll get in touch with you somehow. Ginny, I know he will.
I'm still afraid they'll never find Steve.
They will. It might take a little time. We just have to be patient.
He's my child, and I love him so much. I want him with me. With us.
So do I.
I think Barrett's been planning this for weeks.
Look, maybe Steve will change his mind and come on home.
Barrett's so unstable. I'm afraid for Stephen.
Listen, Stephen's smart. He's a very resourceful boy now. He knows how to take care of himself.
I still think of him as my baby.
I know. And you're going to be thinking of him that way when you're 80 years old, aren't you?
I love you so much, and I want to make you happy, but I don't...
We're going to find Steve, I promise. Hey, I always keep my promises, don't I?
Almost always.
Well, I'm going to keep this one. You can count on it.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good, but not as good as you apparently are. What's the reason for your good mood?
Are you implying that I'm usually in a bad mood?
Not at all. You just seem in an especially good mood today.
Well, then I guess I've been caught.
Caught?
Today is the day I go in for what could be my last checkup. Just the thought of it can't help but raise my spirits.
Now, Mac, I don't know about last.
Well, it's the last of the serious you can't do this and you can't do that checkups.
Well, maybe. But remember, Russ is your doctor, and caution is his watchword.
I know. That's why he's my doctor. And do you know what I think one of his best prescriptions was? That I had to have a round-the-clock nurse if I was going to leave that hospital.
Sandy?
Yeah?
What's the matter?
Nothing.